Hi guys, I'm Cameron Cuffe. My favourite cartoon growing up was Superman the Animated Series, and this is a quick conversation with SYFY WIRE. Do you have the courage to keep believing in that better tomorrow when it seems that it's just not there?
Please. Somebody please help me.
Do you really believe that the sun will rise anew and it will be a good day? And particularly at this point in the season, those beliefs are going to be challenged. Oh my goodness. Lobo is such a fascinating, brilliant character to work with, and he's so wild, and he is comic book to the core.
Hi. Hey, buddy. Just you back here, as the rest of the Kiss Army over there behind them. Oh, he's a talker, ain't he? Hey. Good boy.
And so much of this season for us was about embracing our comic book roots and really embracing the fact that while this is still a grounded science fiction story, this is a world in which superpowers exist, in which aliens and monsters do exist. And we really wanted to bring that into the story. And the thing about Lobo is that it's such a challenging character. He's so wild. Like, how do you make this work in the realm of our show? And I think the moment for me that made me realize that this was going to be absolutely brilliant was when I saw Emmett working. Emmett is really the only actor who I think could play this role. He makes it his own, and he's wild, and he's funny, and he's scary, and also a little bit sexy, which is weird.
Assassin to royalty? Scourge of the cosmos? Archbishop of the First Celestial Church of the Triple Fish God? None of this is ringing a bell.
But it's fun. Like, he's so great to work with, and the funny thing is that most people don't know is that we shot the forest scenes first this season. It was the first thing that we shot this year, were all of those scenes with Seg and Adam and Lobo and Brainiac in the woods.
Wow.
So we started
really
with that.
Intense.
Oh, absolutely, and it was the best way to start. And and the thing is that it was a unit that was together. So all the writers were there, and Cameron was there, and he was constantly coming on set and being like, hey, I've got this idea, and it was a really wonderful collaborative experience. I've never had more fun doing anything, genuinely. So it's the scene after Seg's seen Lighter die, and he finally gets away from the crowd with Dev and Jaina, and he finally has a moment on his own, and he just collapses in grief. What that was a tribute to Infinite Crisis, in which Superman is mourning the death of Supergirl. And I love doing that. So that's the sort of stuff as a fan that I love to do. You know, the George Reeves wink or the Henry Cavill fist pumps. You know, I love putting that stuff in there because the wonderful thing about comic books is that the story continues. That, you know, this is our moment with it, but we have to pass it on better than we found it. So while this is our time, you always want to pay tribute to what's come before. I would say we have to get space dolphins in there at some point.
Oh,
we have to find a way. Gosh, you know, I really adore. I really adore the new Krypton arc, which is a very, very interesting book that explores the relationship between Superman and General Zod. And not dissimilarly to our show, they portray Zod in a different light. And we see the man who does care about his people, who cares about his planet. And that's one of the most fascinating aspects of the character, is that he does terrible things, but for ideals which he believes are good, and which are for the benefit of the people of Krypton. And I think Colin brings so much just spirit and soul to the role. I love working with him, and I think that comic really, you can see a lot of that in that comic. Gosh, if I had to sum up Season 2 of Krypton in one word, what would it be? Epic. I think it has to be.